beautiful, beautiful song there. And this one is by Mr. Mbonyi himself, Israel Mbonyi, Malengo ya Mungu. That is the song. Beautiful, beautiful song. An encouragement to us this morning, taking us to 7:30 in the a.m. And this morning also, we are here to pray with you, Nancy. And we are trusting in God with you and also for you. And we are praying that it shall be well. And He's the God who is able to silence every storm in our lives. And you remember the story of the disciples in that boat, and then all of a sudden the storm was threatening, to capsize the boat and all. But then again, He's the one who silenced the storm. And so He's also able to do it for you, Nancy. And so trust in Him, and He will come through for you. He will restore everything that the enemy has stolen, everything that the enemy has taken away from you. God is able to restore in His own ways. We don't know whichever way He wants to use. Ours is to believe and to trust in Him. So yours is also to believe and trust in Him, that in that business, God is going to resuscitate, rejuvenate, and help you afresh in your biashara, that it will thrive, it will there will be a turnaround even in your business as well. As we trust it also together with you over your daughter's life, we need that also God is going to remember her, and that God will do immeasurably more than you and her and we could ever think or even imagine. And she's going to be fine. God is going to orchestrate things in your life and also in the life of your daughter. He's Jehovah Jireh, the one who is able to provide for us. So let's keep that hope in God, that hope alive. Amen. Amen. Let's go to the dailies this morning. And we start off with the Daily Nation, and they are going with the headline, Unmasked Faces in Home Buying Scams. So some investors paid 6 million shillings, but the houses are incomplete 6 years later. Now, Kenyans in diaspora in particular are being lured into property investments back home, only to later discover they sunk millions into bogus schemes. More depressing is the plight of retiring workers who believed they were investing in posh retirement homes, only to find stalled structures in thickets. It's a story that is covered on page 2 and 3, and the evolution of these real estate companies have an interesting connection. Officials of a company accused of taking millions from investors for no houses delivered moved to another firm that continues with the trade. That is the network. And there are faces there of 3 gentlemen. Mr. Patrick Mushoki is the managing director of Mahiga Homes Limited that is accused of taking millions from investors without delivering the houses. Mr. Egidio Kenyanjui, the managing director of Wilston Homes, was a sales manager of Banda Homes that left investors in tears. And there is Mr. Peter Nyaga, the managing director of Certified Homes Limited, was the chief executive officer of Mahiga Homes Limited. A sad story there of money, millions of money, people being scammed of their hard-earned cash in the hope of getting a home. It's a story that you can read on page 2 and page 3 of the Nation. Still on the front page, there is a picture there of the outgoing TSC CEO, and they are saying end of an era at TSC. 10 is the number of years Dr. Macharia has been at the helm of TSC. The law provides for a 5-year term renewable once. And so the Teacher Service Commission has appointed Evelyn Mitei as acting CEO after Dr. Nancy Macharia started terminal leave ahead of her imminent retirement on the 10th of June. TSC has invited qualified candidates to apply for the top job. That's a story that you can get on page 7 as we near the end of Nancy's 10-year reign. Right. Still on the front page, anti-finance bill activist freed after weekend in police custody. Online activist Rose Njeri, who was arrested for setting up a website to publish concerns about proposed taxes, was charged with 2 counts under the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Act. She was freed on bail pending a ruling on the legality of the charges after her lawyers termed them an abuse of court. And when you read the charges, indeed, or you can decide for yourself, because if those were the reasons why she was detained, should we say incommunicado, as in an entire weekend for those charges, then weep, my dear nation, you know. And it was also good to see so many Kenyans standing up to show their support for Njeri, because she was just trying to help as many Kenyans to air their views on the finance bill. And remember, we are in that period of public participation, and so why she was being arrested for assisting as many Kenyans as possible to offer and give their views, you know, it baffles not just it baffles many. And in court, actually, to show even support for her was senior counsel Kalonzo Musyoka, and even Chief Justice Emeritus David Maraga. So we wait and see how that one pans out. Then I see Raila takes on Ruto over brutal state crackdown. The ODM leader has differed with the president on several issues, including compensation for victims of protests. That's a story that is on page 4 and 5 inside the Daily Nation, and you can read that story as well. And FKF Premier League police coach Etienne Ndayiragije ready to pop champagne bottle. You can read that in the sports section inside the Daily Nation. And Kenya Rugby Union no longer at ease. Remember, the chair resigned, Sasha Mutai. And then Kebugu grabs lead in Sunshine Tour opener at Thika Greens. That's what is being covered in the sports section inside the Daily Nation. Right. We can now shift gear from the Nation to the Standard, and what they are reporting this morning. And they go with the headline, state impunity. That is what they go with. And there is a picture there of the activist Rose Njeri when she appeared in court yesterday. There is a big picture there of Njeri. And then they say, abuse of power. Rose Njeri, a software developer and civic activist, thought she was using her skills to educate Kenyans on the finance bill and have them register their dissent. In return, a law that targets hackers is being used to prosecute her. Her arrest and arraignment has lawyers and critics up in arms, accusing the state of weaponizing cybercrime laws to silence digital activism and public participation. All eyes are on the judiciary on June 20th to see where hacking starts and dissent stops. It's a story that you can read there on pages 4 and 5 inside the Standard. Still on the front page of the Standard, Nancy Macharia leaves TSC after 10 years at helm. It's a story that is on page 11. And party launch problems for Gachagua. It's on page 10. Remember, they were to do the launch at the Kasarani Indo Gymnasium, but their booking and all was cancelled. And so apparently it's like they don't have a venue for the launch. All right. Then the Institute of Engineers of Kenya has accused the government of failing to involve the association in capital projects, instead relying on foreign contractors. That's a story that also is on inside the Standard. And the Kenya Development Corporation has called for alignment of development financing with the African continental trade. Right. Then sports section, Bruno Fernandes has reportedly rejected a huge offer to leave Manchester United for Saudi Pro League, opting to be part of Ruben Amorim's rebuild at Old Trafford. You know, I was having this conversation with my sister yesterday, and she was telling me, you know, you Kenyans, you are discussing this Bruno story from a point of scarcity. You know, nyinyi hamna kitu, so mnamuuliza unawezaje kataa hizo pesa zote, lakini surely how do you turn down 700,000 pounds a week, my friend, a week for 3 years? Anyway, yeah, inaitwa priorities. Right. The pullout, the dilemma of balancing Mitumba local textile farms needs. It's on page 4 and 5. Istanbul's suitcase trade stalls as Africans face crackdown, and women far from achieving parity in CSITs. That's on the pullout inside the Standard. And finally, the Business Daily. Equity lobbies DRC against forced sale of 30% stake. Lender sent a memo to the government on May 27th seeking exemption. The directive demands 45% local ownership. And then I see here Kenya was forced to pay 6.2 billion shillings without MP's approval to a consortium of French contractors whose mega highway expansion project deal was cancelled. The payment was made to avert legal suits after the consortium protested handing the deal to Chinese contractors. Yet more money, taxpayers' money actually being wasted and paying such amount for a project that was never done. And then more than 14 motor vehicle models are missing from the new price list that KRA will use to calculate taxes on used imports from July 1st amid industry uproar over steep and unpredictable duty. And the High Court has dismissed a 4.5 billion shillings compensation suit by former WPP Scan Group CEO Bharat Thakrar for being filed in the wrong forum. And experts seek 70% state bond assets cap for pension funds. That is what is being covered in the dailies this morning. And so you can grab your favorite copy, get to see what's happening, read what's happening in our nation. But for believers as well, it helps us to get to know how to pray for our nation. Right about now, it's time for a break, and this is to pave way for the video of the day.